Catch one, it's usually a pretty good one.
Like a 3-pounder, 2-pounder, 4-pounder?
Let's find out. I got one.
Oh boy, look at him go.
Right on that transition.
Did you get a smallie?
It's a largemouth.
Oh.
It's a chunky fish though.
And I'm not in a good spot here, guys. Let me, I'm working on setting up a fancy new fishing rod. Meanwhile, the pro is catching them. So let me turn around. What you got there? Oh,
little
dude,
chunk
you got a
largemouth,
nice
huh?
one right off the bat. That will work, sir. That's a good way to get your morning started. Yeah, we'll put him back, and that's a good one. What'd you get him with?
It's a wild thing.
You got him on the wild thing. Viewers will know this this bait from us. We've thrown this bait a fair bit. That's one of my favorite colors in it as well.
Yeah, it's a super natural looking crankbait. It looks a lot like a crawfish as it's kind of scurrying through the rocks.
It's kind of a classic color.
Yeah, it is. It is. We got a nice little brown craw color here, and the big deal on this bait is to not overwork it, to not work it too fast, right? Like you know, medium to medium slow retrieve, and it's going to hunt on its own. That's how you want to fish it.
And it's real lively.
I got you. And
I got him first throw. I just want to point that out.
Woo! What do you got, dude?
I don't know. I don't think he's a monster, but he's first throw.
What, you got a gizzard shad there, dude?
No.
I'm just kidding.
Gizzard shad. Good Lord.
Good job, man.
I've been yelling jerkbait for 2 days.
That's great. Good job, man.
That's funny, yeah. I never had a actual bass pro say good job for catching one that size. We are a true multi-species show.
That's got to be challenging, man.
It depends, because we can fish for what's biting it. There's another one. That's how the lenders got famous. This one's farther out.
Suspended.
That one's a little farther out. All right, guys. Well, we still haven't caught us a giant yet, but we are headed the right direction, and that is 2 casts with the jerkbait and 2 fish. So, but I do, unlike almost anybody else, I don't do any rhythm ever on my jerkbaits hardly. There's never a jerk, pause, jerk, pause, jerk, pause. It never happens for me.
I got you. Just whatever's
There's
happening.
another one. All right. Nothing else, we're gonna put some fish in the boat. Now I just got to find bigger ones. I might need to get a bigger jerkbait out to keep some of these guys off of it. But that's 3 casts and 3 fish. So it's, and they are committed bites. A big part of today's show, of having Josh in the boat with us, is to learn a little bit about it. We get lots of emails. How do I become a pro? How do I get sponsored? You know, or I wish I could do that, and blah, blah, blah. So for folks that aren't familiar with Josh Bertrand, first of all, give us a 30-second rundown of your fishing history as it pertains to, you know, the start of your career.
Sure. Well, yeah, and that's most common question I ever get, man, for sure. Is how do you become a pro fisherman?
Yeah.
I started out when I was a kid. I just became totally obsessed with fishing. When I was 10, 12, 14 years old, that's all I wanted to do. I wasn't fishing tournaments at the time, but I was just fishing every weekend, every chance I got.
Right.
And just kind of worked my way up through the ranks, man. I fished a lot of local and regional tournaments as a teenager.
As a co-angler or a non-boater?
To a point, and that's one thing I did, I think a little too quickly, I jumped over to the boater side, and that's another thing we can get into. I don't recommend doing that too quickly, but when I turned about 18, I started fishing on the pro side of a lot of regional tournaments. I started guiding.
At 18?
At 18. I mean, I couldn't wait to do it, man. And
I couldn't wait to do it.
we weren't made of money, so I was having to hustle to get some. I mean, my parents were super supportive and did everything they could, but they didn't have the means to just drop the money on a $60,000 boat and say, hey, go after it, of course.
Right.
I was detailing boats, and I got, you know, to make enough money to be able to do it. That was my first job. I got into guiding, and guiding was really good for me. Helped me a lot with my people skills, got me a bunch of time on the water.
Sure.
Started fishing the Bassmaster Opens at 20.
And that's a 3, for folks who aren't familiar, that's a 3 tournament series, right? The individual series?
It is, yep. And the top 5 in points at the end of that makes it into the Elite Series.
Okay.
So I did that. My second year doing it, I just got lucky and had a good year. I got Angler of the Year in the Central Opens, so I made it onto the Elites and fished over there for 6 years. Now I'm fishing over at Major League Fishing.
So your total pro career is from 18 to 30, so 12 years already.
Yeah, it's been my job for that long. I can say it's been my job for that long, even though it doesn't feel like it.
Yeah.